Welcome, everyone, to our financial scoop. My name is Migdalia Gomez. I'm the AVP of Community Engagement, and I see that many of you are joining. Excited to have you here as part of our first financial scoop of the series, which is all about making money with your HUECU account. As I mentioned, I'm Migdalia Gomez, the AVP here of Community Engagement at the Credit Union, and we have Terrence Bazil, who is also joining us, and I will be sort of in the chat and we'll be hosting. And for today, we are in webinar mode. So what does that mean? It means you could be having chips in the background. You could be, maybe you're on a boat and there's loud waves in the background. We're not going to hear it. So enjoy your lunch, enjoy what you're doing. Don't worry about us being able to hear you. We won't be able to, but we definitely want to make sure that this is interactive. It's all about you and that we're answering your questions. So please use the Q&A feature to submit any comments, questions that you have. We have deactivated the chat. It's a little hard when a lot of chats come in. We don't want to miss anything. So we are using the Q&A feature. So to make sure that you're comfortable using the Q&A feature and you know where it is, please let us know using the questions feature. How long have you been a member and where are you joining us from? We love asking those questions. Sometimes we have members that have been with us for 20 plus years. Sometimes we have members that are joining us from a different continent. So please, using the Q&A, let us know how long have you been a member and how many, where are you joining us from? Okay, so far I see someone that has been a member since 1993. I think they are winning as our most seasoned member. Thank you. Okay, I also see folks are joining from Boston, see some folks from Cambridge, I see someone from New Hampshire. Okay, 2020, North Carolina. Okay, so now North Carolina is currently winning from furthest, and the person from 1993. Somebody from 25-ish years. So thank you so much. Please continue to use the Q&A throughout today's presentation. That is how we'll make sure to answer your questions. And we do have some raffle prizes for everyone that attends today's webinar. You've already been entered into the raffle prize drawing, so you don't have to do anything else. Either myself, Migdalia, or Terrence will email you later actually most likely next week, letting you know that you've won. If you have any questions, you're not sure it's us, don't feel like replying to the email, that's fine. You could always call us at the credit union, but know that the email will come from either Terrence or myself. And for those that are not a member, thank you for joining us. And a little bit about us at the credit union. We are Harvard's not-for-profit financial institution. And as a not-for-profit, we're focused 100% on doing what's best for our members and our community. And that includes things like today's presentation and the Financial Scoop series, which is all about educating you on the different products that we have, because we want you to be empowered to know which products may be the best for your specific financial situation. Terrence will put the link in the chat, but we have a couple of other Financial Scoop presentations coming up in the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested, you can register. Now, I've done a lot of talking so far, and it's not about me. It's all about our three panelists. It's about Katie, Brian, and Rich, and they're going to be talking to us today about our HUECU accounts. And then they'll talk to us for about 10 minutes, high level on the accounts. And then we're going to transition to the questions that you submitted when you registered. If you have other questions, you're more than welcome to submit them, and we will have additional time at the end. So I'm going to take myself off of the video, but I will obviously still be here. And I'm going to turn it over now to Brian, who's going to talk to us about the Smart Reward checking account.
Thank you, Migdalia, for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Samuel. I'm the branch manager here at the Harvard Square branch location. And I'm just going to talk to you about a really amazing checking account that we offer. It is the Smart Rewards Checking. With the Smart Rewards Checking, there are two options for that. There is a cash back option and there's a premium interest option. First and foremost, with the account, there are no monthly fees ever. There is no minimum balance, and there is no direct deposit required. With the cash back option, you earn 3% back on your purchases up to $10 per month, which is amazing. And there is premium interest where you can earn 3% up to balances of $10,000 per month. Both you can do the direct deposit if you'd like, but as I said, that is not required. And also to earn those rewards, you have to do three very, very, very simple things. One is one online, mobile, or online check-in to your account per month. The other qualification you have to meet is 12 debit card transactions per month as well. And lastly, you have to get e-statements. If you are performing those 3 activities per month, you earn either your premium interest or the cash back on your account and the balances. If not, there are still no fees. There are still no penalties for that. In addition to earning those, you also get up to $25 in ATM fees refunded each month. You get a free first order of checks, and you are also eligible for our Smart Rewards savings that accompany these accounts. And with the Smart Rewards savings, you can earn up to 4%, any percentage yield on balances up to $25,000, which are all amazing benefits to the checking package, and can really go a long way in helping you organize, budget, help you pay down your debts, help you earn money on the deposits you have with us. Really excellent account. That's kind of all I have for that package. I know I kind of sped through it, but I can answer any other questions you may have moving forward as we get into the Q&A session. But with that, back to you, Natalia.
Thanks, Brian. And I'm going to turn it over now to Katie, who's going to talk to us about certificate of deposits or CDs. And I do see questions coming in. Please keep them coming. We will answer those at the end.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Katie Armstrong. I'm the CFO at the credit union. And just to go over what a certificate of deposit is, I saw the question in the chat earlier, is a CD the same as a certificate? And so the answer is yes, Rich answered that. But so these accounts have a couple of different names: certificate of deposit, time deposit, share certificate. So they're all the same. And the difference between a certificate of deposit and a normal deposit account is that it provides members with the opportunity to earn a higher rate of interest. But the trade-off is that the money that you put into your certificate of deposit is expected to remain in that account untouched for a certain period of time. So at HUECU, we have CDs that range in term from 3 months to 5 years. And again, once you deposit funds in those accounts, that money is expected to stay in the account for the term, for whatever term you select. Of course, you can always access these funds if you need them for an emergency or for whatever reason. But if you do access these funds prior to the maturity date of the CD, then you'll be charged a small penalty. So for CDs with a term of 12 months or less, the penalty can be up to 3 months worth of interest. And for CDs with terms over 12 months, the penalty is up to 6 months of interest. So these accounts are a really good option for members that have excess funds, excess savings on hand that they don't need to pay for bills or for their everyday life. They can put it into this type of account for a set period of time, kind of set it and forget it, and allows members to make a little extra return on these funds. There is a $1,000 minimum deposit to open these accounts. As I mentioned, the terms could be from 3 months to 60 months. The rate on the deposit is fixed for the term of the certificate. And then our Crimson Elite checking account holders have the option to add into the account one time, and then they also receive a bit of a bump in their rate on these accounts. So from time to time, depending on the interest rate environment, HUECU will offer promotional CD accounts. So right now we're offering promotional 6-month, 9-month, 11-month, and 15-month. So right here's our 9, 11, and 15-month promotional rates. So all these are the highest rates that we offer on any of our CD products. So if you're looking to earn a little bit extra, if you have some extra funds on hand and you're looking to earn a bit of a higher yield on your funds, this is definitely the best option, account option for you.
Thank you, Katie. And Rich, I'm going to turn it over to you before we start answering some of the questions.
Great. Thank you, Natalia, and good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for joining our first financial scoop. We all hope that you will register for the additional ones we have coming up in the coming weeks. My name is Richard Tronfalier, and I'm the Assistant Vice President for Branch Administration. Today, I'm going to talk to you about our credit cards. We have a couple of credit cards available, but we're going to be focusing on our rewards credit cards. One of the great benefits about the HUECU credit cards is we have no annual fee. You will earn points with purchases, and those points will never expire for you. Another great benefit is on our balance transfers. It is a 0% interest for 12 months. We do have a transfer fee of 2% that we just want to be open and honest about, but there is no fee and no 0% intro APR for our purchases for the first 12 months as well. So if you do not have a balance transfer to take advantage of it this time, you can continue to make purchases without worrying about paying interest in the first year, which makes our cards a very good option for our members. Terrence, I'll have you go to the next slide. Thank you. One of the many benefits about our card is it is a MasterCard. So anywhere MasterCard is accepted, the card can be used. If you spend $500 within the first 90 days of receiving the credit card, you will earn 10,000 bonus points that can be used not just for cash back, but also for merchandise and travel through our travel reward site. It's a card that we take great pride in, and applications can be submitted online through our website or by stopping in a branch and seeing one of our helpful member service reps. Thank you, McDowell. Oh, I did want to highlight, I apologize. So our cash rewards, the Platinum Rewards Plus, you will earn 1.5% on everything, which is a great benefit if you do all types of different shopping. On our Platinum Rewards card, it is 3% on gas, which we all know adds up quickly these days. So that is a great benefit. 2% on groceries and 1% on everything else. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Rich, Katie, and Brian. That was a quick high overview, and that was very helpful. So now we're going to get into some of the questions that our members submitted when they registered, and then we will have time to answer the other questions that people are submitting as the webinar is live. So the first question, I'm going to direct it to you, Brian, if you don't mind. Someone asked, how can I balance saving money and paying down debt at the same time?
Well, with that, it does depend on your situation, how much debt you're in, and what you're actually trying to save for. The first thing I would say is have a budget. Know how much money you have coming in, know how much you have going out. Second, have a clear savings goal. What are you saving for? Is it to have an emergency fund? Is it to buy a house, buy a car, buy a new TV? Maybe it's all three. So maybe you want to have multiple savings accounts to sort of pay attention to each one of those different goals you have. Once you've done that and you have clear savings goals, you have a budget, you know what's coming in, going out, where is your debt centered? Is it all in credit cards? Is it loans? If you're looking at things like that, you want to probably pay more than just the minimum payment due. You want to pay a little bit more. That way that goes more towards the principal versus just paying off the interest. Do your best to grow your savings. Do not try and save too much at one time. Do what's best for you in that situation. Sometimes it's $5 a week extra you're saving. In some cases, it could be $100 extra you're saving. It depends on your situation. There is no cookie cutter sort of formula for this. So look at your overall situation and just try to stick to your budget. Your budget will help you and guide you through the processes of having to save money and paying off at the same time.
Thank you, Brian. And one of the resources that all of you have as members of the credit union is we all have access to free financial counseling through Green Path Financial Wellness, and they help with budget and talking strategy too for debt repayment. So I know Terrence will probably put that in the chat for folks. The next question that came in, I'm going to ask you, Rich, and I'm actually going to add to this question. The question that came in was, how can I earn more interest on, oh, I'm sorry. I got a little bit ahead of myself. So I'm actually going to just go to this one first and ask Katie, Rich, ask you this question. How do I stay on top of my monthly requirements for my checking accounts? And then someone during the webinar asked, does month to month mean calendar month for the first day of the month to the last day of the month?
Great questions. And it is not month to month being the first calendar day to the last. We are on a cycle, and our member service reps, or when you open the account, you will receive that cycle. For example, this month of July, it runs from June 30th till July 28th. And it does vary each month on the number of days based on when the weekend falls into play for when transactions can be reviewed. The requirements for our Smart Rewards checking accounts are that you do 12 debit card purchases in a month, 1 online banking login per month, and receive e-statements. E-statements is pretty simple. Once you enroll, you will be set up until you elect to cancel. So that is one of the easier ones to stay on top of. Online banking login. Again, it is only once a month, and this is the best way to track the transactions. So make sure you have done 12 in a month. Getting to 12 is quite easy. If you drink coffee like I do, you get almost done in the first week, where I have 2 cups a day. And there are many options that you can set up to have your Netflix paid, Amazon payments paid through your debit card. So we do believe hitting the 12 is easy, but the best way to track it is by logging into our online banking. You'll be able to narrow down transactions that are limited to POS transactions, which we call purchase of sales. And those transactions, you'll compare to the cycle date to confirm that 12 have posted. And assuming that has taken place, you are all set. We will take care of posting the additional premium interest for cashback rewards for the checking.
Thanks, Rich. And it's good to know that you drink a lot of coffee, as we have about 15 questions left in about 15 minutes. So I hope everyone else, Brian and Katie, maybe you had your cup of coffee as well. And I'm going to go back to the one that I accidentally skipped. And Katie, how can I earn more interest on my savings and checking account? And someone, to add to this question, someone asked, is there a CD with 5% interest?
So to answer that question, that first question, is there a CD with 5% interest? At this point in time, HUECU does not offer any CD accounts with a 5% interest rate. Interest rates have been going up over the past year, and they're continuing to go up. So it's not to say that we won't eventually offer a 5% CD, but at this point in time, we do not offer that. But the best way to earn more on savings and checking accounts is to diversify your funds as much as you can possible across our higher yielding products. So our products that pay a higher interest rate or offer the cashback incentive. So for checking accounts, that's going to be our premium interest and cashback checking accounts that Brian and Rich have both talked about. They offer the most return, and both in the form of interest or cashback. So this is a good option for your most liquid funds. So the funds that you use every day to pay your bills and for your everyday life. And then that premium interest rate is in cashback is on funds up to $10,000. So for the next $25,000 worth of funds that you have in savings, we'd recommend, of course, that you take advantage of our premium savings account. So that if you qualify for the premium checking, you're going to qualify for the premium savings. And so that's a good option for, your savings that is not used for your everyday life, but it's kind of your emergency fund. You don't want to put it away in a CD in case an emergency comes up and you need those funds. You want to have that access to that money. So then any funds in excess of that original $35,000, a good place for that would be our CD account. So your savings that you can kind of put away and let build and grow and earn a higher interest rate on, you'd want to put that into our CD accounts. Our promotional CD accounts right now are going to be the ones that will earn the most money for you. So you want to put that into our 15-month CD promotional CDs that we're offering right now. And when you spread your funds across multiple products, this way is how you're really going to optimize and maximize your return on your investment at the credit union.
Thank you. And the next question that I have is for you, Brian. And I think we have about 5 minutes and about 5 questions that were submitted during registration. So I'm going to ask for all of you to sort of do lightning round with these so we can get to some of the other questions. So Brian, when would it be a good time to utilize a CD for savings?
The best time to use a CD is usually when you're saving for something very specific and you know you're not going to touch the funds. As Katie explained earlier when she went over CDs, if you're saving for a house, a car, something specific, you know you're not going to touch the funds, CDs are good for that. Whether it's for a few months or a few years, it's really for a specific goal of money you're not going to use for a period of time. Because if you have to use it before the period of time, you will pay the penalty once you have to break the CD. So really goal-specific things on money you're not going to utilize.
Thank you, Brian. And Katie, I believe this one is for you. What are the benefits and considerations of CD laddering? And I know some folks may not know what that is, so if you don't mind explaining that as well.
Sure. So CD laddering is when you take an amount of savings that you have. Say, for example, you take $15,000 in savings and you put $5,000 in a 1-year CD, the next 5,000 you put in a 2-year CD, and then the next 5,000 you put in a 3-year CD. So this way you're able to take advantage of different interest rates across the curve, but then you also always have funds that are going to be maturing within the next year or so. You can choose to do it in any increment you want. You can do it every 3 months, every 6 months. But basically the goal is just to have your money spread over a longer term period, but with funds always coming due. And then when the funds come due or are mature, then you reinvest that back into the furthest term out. So the 3-year CD would be in this example. And this allows you to take advantage of rising interest rate environments. So if your money, when you initially put your funds into this ladder, if interest rates are low and then interest rates rise over the time period, then after that first year, you're able to take advantage of that rise in interest rates. So those would be the benefits of putting it into a ladder. And I think the consideration is basically how much money can you put away and how much money do you want to have maturing. So you want to know that you're going to be able to, if you're going to need the money, you want to make sure that a good amount of money is maturing on a regular basis so that you can have access to the funds without being penalized.
Thank you. And Rich, we're considering buying a house in the next year. Do you still recommend putting the money in a CD?
It's a great question. First of all, congratulations on buying a house. We all know that that is one of the biggest purchases we will make in our life. The correct answer is going to be unique to each individual. If you know for a fact that you will not be making the purchase for over 12 months, I think a certificate of deposit makes a lot of sense, especially when you're earning a higher yield of interest on one of our promotional CDs at this time. If you're on the fence as to how soon it may happen and it's going to be in 6 months or less, you may be more happy opening up one of our money markets or our Smart Rewards savings, which will also earn you 4% with the Smart Checking meeting qualifications up to $25,000. I encourage anyone that's looking to purchase a home to have a consultation with one of our support center reps or branch employees to further discuss the option that might be right for you. You may today decide that it's going to be 12, 13 months down the road, in which case, again, the CD makes sense, and find something early. As Katie mentioned earlier, you are able to break a certificate of deposit, although that is not encouraged. We're happy to say that the penalty is never against the principal, only in the interest earned. So you may find that you do better in the money market or Smart Rewards savings, depending on the amount. So really, I encourage you to have a consultation with one of our staff to look at your unique situation to give you the best advice.
Thank you. And we will have the contact information on our website, we'll include it in the PowerPoint. Brian, for you, what is the best account for a teenager?
Well, we do offer what is called the Varsity Life Account. It is for young adults ages 13 to 17. And the way we go about doing that for our members is the member comes in and opens up a membership account for their child, which they are a joint signer on. There is a $5 minimum to open that membership account, and the Varsity Life does, and the membership account does earn some interest. The Varsity Life account itself comes with a debit card, MasterCard, with a limit of $300 in purchasing power. You get unlimited ATMs and up to $10 surcharge refunds per month from other institutions. You get a free first pack of checks, which is optional, and e-statements. It's a really great account to get young adults started in banking, learn about banking, and how to manage their money so they can develop really, really good habits as they move forward.
Thank you. It's always great to get that information and get the teenagers to have that account earlier on so they can develop their good money habits. Okay, Katie, this is last question for you before we start answering some of the questions that were submitted. So someone asked, which account is the best for making the most of your money?
So I think this is going to be another one that sort of depends. So if you have funds that you need to be able to access, then our best options are going to be our premium checking and premium savings accounts, because you're going to be earning a higher rate of interest and you're still going to be able to access those funds without being penalized. If you have money that you're working on saving and you don't necessarily need for your day-to-day life, then our best options for you are going to be our CD accounts, particularly our promotional CDs. You can put those funds away for 11, 15 months and earn over 4% in interest on those accounts. So it depends on your situation, but there's products that we have that are great for both situations.
Thank you. I'm going to get us started now with some of the questions that were submitted. I believe, Rich, it may be your turn. So someone asked, if we already have a savings account, can it be a Smart Rewards account, or do we need to open an additional account?
So for membership with the Harvard University Employees Credit Union, you are required to have a share deposit savings account. So if you have multiple savings accounts, you can switch one of those to the Smart Rewards, but if you have only the one share savings, an additional savings would need to be opened to.
Thank you. And the next question that we have here, and I believe this one would be for you, Brian. Would I have to cancel my Crimson to have the cash reward?
The cash rewards is specifically for that. If they're talking about the savings account, that Smart Rewards savings account goes directly with the Smart Rewards checking. So you would have to have those. And Richard, keep me honest here, you can only have either the Crimson Leap or the Smart Rewards checking. Is that correct?
No, a member will be allowed to open up a Smart Rewards checking in addition to a Crimson checking account that they have.
And then Katie, this one's for you. Can I continue to be a member after retirement? And can family members have their own account and keep them after I retire?
So the answer to both of those is yes. Once our philosophy here at HUECU is once a member, always a member. So once you're set up as a member of the credit union, you're a member for life. And also one of the qualifications for membership is being a family member of an employee or being a family member of someone that qualifies for membership. So all of your family members can have their own accounts. And when you retire, they're able to keep their accounts because they fall under the same rule, once a member, always a member. So yes to all of your questions.
Thanks. And I just put up on the screen, and I think Terrence put in the chat, we do also have a referral program. So not only is it beneficial for the person that you refer, but also for yourself. And we also donate $5 for each referral that we get. Brian, for you, are there monthly fees for Smart Rewards savings?
No, there are no current fees associated with that suite of products. Once again, if you don't fulfill the obligations, the activities, then there's just no fee. You don't get the interest that comes with it and all that. But there are no penalties.
Thank you. And Rich, are the Platinum and Platinum Plus cards different from the Harvard Alumni card?
It is, yes, a different credit card. The Platinum and Platinum Plus are offered to all of our memberships, but the Harvard Alumni card is specifically offered to alumni of Harvard University and employees of Harvard University. Katie had mentioned that family members would qualify at this time. The Harvard Alumni card is not a card that they would be able to qualify for, but the Platinum Plus and Platinum Rewards are very similar in their offerings, while not totally identical. They are available to every member of the credit union.
Thank you. And I'm looking at time, so we do have a couple of additional questions. I know some folks may need to jump off exactly at 1:30. For those that are able to stay on, we'll probably end around 1:32 just to try to get through as many of these as possible if it works for Rich, Brian, and Katie. Katie, someone asked, can you keep adding money to the CD account after it is opened?
You're not technically allowed to add to a CD account once it's been opened. So the amount that you put into it at the beginning is the amount, but you can always open up a new CD if you have more funds that you're looking to deposit in one of those types of accounts. Our Crimson Elite checking account holders do have the option to do a one-time add to a CD. So if you have that type of checking account, you are able to add additional funds into your CD account one time. But for non-Crimson Elite checking account holders, the rule is that you deposit what you have at the beginning, and then if you have additional funds to deposit, you would have to open up an additional CD for that.
Thank you. And I believe Rich, it's no, your turn. A quick follow-up to get the state Smart Rewards savings account at 4% APY. Do I need to meet the Smart Rewards checking account qualification every month?
Yes, so to earn the 4% on the Smart Rewards savings, you do need to meet the qualifications for the checking. There are no fees for not meeting the qualifications. You just don't earn the benefits by not doing so.
Thank you. And Brian, can I transfer my savings account to the high interest savings account, or do I need to open a new account?
Well, as Rich alluded to earlier, you must always have the share account. If you have an additional savings account to the share account, you can transfer that into the Smart Reward savings. If you don't have any additional savings accounts with the share account, you would have to open up the additional Smart Reward savings.
Thank you. And I believe, Katie, maybe your turn. Will the interest rates for Smart Rewards checking and savings be permanent, or are they subject to prime lending rate?
Maybe you're on mute, I believe.
Sorry about that. So the rates on those types of accounts are not permanent, and they're also not tied to the prime lending rate. They're based on the interest rate environment and the amount that we want to be paying out our members on those premium accounts. So right now we don't have any time where we're planning on changing them. We're hoping that they always remain premium interest, or the plan is to always have them remain premium. So they'll always be ahead of market, but there is no real hard and fast rule for when they will change or what they'll change by.
Thank you so much, Rich, Brian, and Katie. You answered so many great questions. Thank you everyone for submitting the questions that you did. At this point, I'm going to do a quick wrap up, but if folks have any other last minute comments, feel free to put them in the Q&A. We will see them. We also have a survey for folks so that we can continue to, if you want more of these, we'll continue to do so. If you want us to provide any additional service, any additional type of accounts, let us know. We're a credit union. We're here to help you, and we're your credit union. A little bit as a reminder, Terrence did put this in the link in the link in the chat, but we do have a referral program. So just go to huecu.org/referral to refer someone. And we have next week our insurance financial scoop, and then we have one on our 40-year ARM or adjustable rate mortgage. We also have one on educational loans and one on estate planning. So please register. If you're not able to attend, you'll still get the recording. Again, a huge thank you for everyone for joining us. Please let us know how we can be better. We are here to improve. We want to be better. We want to make sure we're providing you all the different resources that we can. And a quick little disclaimer, we know that this was a quick presentation and it is very high level. So nothing that we provided was tax or legal or investment advice. It's all general for educational purposes. I also am going to leave up our contact information, but before we close out, I don't know, Rich, Brian, or Katie, if there's any last minute things you wanted to share. I want to say thank you on behalf of all of us, but wanted to have you share anything if there was anything last minute you wanted to share with folks.
I would just indicate again that this was a high overview, and we do have representatives available both through the support center and on our retail branches to answer any additional questions that you have. And thank you all for being members of the credit union or considering being a member.
Thank you so much. And I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon. And I did see someone ask about the prize. We will email the winner early next week, and you will get the recording of today's presentation and information, and including an email with links to all the products and the contact information to contact us to learn more. You'll get that information by the end of this week. So thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.